Finding random frames in Doom Part 2 until it's ugly. Let's go towards the beginning. 1, 2, 3. What's cool about this shot is the fill light, and that is because the fill light on the left side of the face is contrasting with the fill light on the right side of the face. It is more of an orange color compared to the right side of his face, and this creates the typical orange and teal color palette you might see in something like Transformers, except for a lot more muted. But again, it is motivated. You have to ask yourself, why would there be an orange light in this situation? Well, in real life, the sun would be bouncing off of the sand and then reflecting back onto his face. It might not look exactly like this in real life, but it makes sense. It is motivated. Not ugly. Let's go towards the beginning. 1, 2, 3. Now, you might think that the way they achieved this color was in post and color grading, but that's actually not what they did. What they did was they used a variable IR filter, which allowed them to filter out the green and blue light of this image, so all you're seeing is the orange and red light. Okay, let's go towards the middle. 1, 2, 3. This and this entire scene is actually an infrared image. And the way they achieved this is very interesting because they used Arri Alexa Mini and Arri Alexa LF cameras and removed the infrared filter from the sensors. And then they put an 87C filter on the lens that filtered out all of the visible wavelengths of the light spectrum, so that the resulting image is just the infrared wavelengths. And not only do I think this scene looks cool, but it does have a story motivation. It takes place on a different planet than the rest of the images we have been seeing with Timmy Chalamet, and that gave the director and the DP an opportunity to explore something new. And what they explored was that the sunlight on this particular planet didn't have any of the visible light spectrum. And so the sunlight of this planet looks black and white, but when we go inside on this same planet and they're using artificial lights, that's when we introduce the color and the visible light spectrum. If I can just find a shot of inside, I'll show you. Here we go. It has color. Not much color, but you can see that there is color in their skin tones here. Also, this set is a very cool one to talk about, which I will do now. But first of all, I want to draw your attention to a great resource I found on the American Cinematographer website, and that is actually a production book created by the DP Greig Fraser himself. And if I just scroll through this, you'll see that there are just a lot of behind the scenes photos of the sets they used for Dune 2, and also a lot of lighting plots. And we are going to find one of these BTS photos right here, because what you can see from this photo of outside of the set, what they did was they primarily just had a ton of lights above the set and below the set bouncing off of this giant silk, and then that light was bouncing through these cracks in the set. So that's ultimately what you're seeing here is the silk outside of the window, the light bouncing off of the silk and then barely coming in and lighting a kind of dark image, but a very soft image. 1, 2, 3. Great shot. 1, 2, 3. Great shot. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful shot. I love this. Probably my favorite shot so far. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh.